Before we start, we would like to respectfully acknowledge the territory in which we gather here today as the ancestral lands of the Beothuk peoples, and the island of Newfoundland as the ancestral homeland of the Mi'kmaq and Beothuk peoples. We would like to recognize the Inuit of Nunatsiavut and Nunatuavut and the Innu of Dasinan and their ancestors as the original peoples of Labrador. We would also like to acknowledge our offices in Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, and New Brunswick as Mi'kmaq, the ancestral territory of the Mi'kmaq peoples, and our offices in New Brunswick as the traditional territory of the Welaskiawik peoples. We are happy today to be joined by the Blake sisters. They have graciously offered to share with us today their talents and to provide us with some background and some explanations related to their performance. Welcome. The Blake sisters are an Inuit group who have been performing together as a family since 2008. They will be performing with their traditional Inuit drum called the kalaut. They will be singing in Inuktitut and doing some throat singing for us. No drum? No drum. There is no drum. Okay, but they will be doing some throat singing, and I was just treated to a little bit of warm up. So I think it's going to be a great celebration. I hope everybody enjoys, and welcome to the Blake sisters. The floor is all yours.
Hello, everybody. We are the Blake sisters. From oldest to youngest, this is Brenda. I'm Josephine. This is Sherry, and this is Tabitha.
Atiliai Lonasi, Blake Nuyait, Regulatimi Nunatsiavut, Sitamanik Nuyait, Brenda Vonga, Ona Josephine, Ona Sherry, Ona Tabitha, Uhala Vonga Inutuit. Hi, everyone.
So we're going to start today with some throat singing. Me and Tabitha are going to do a throat song called Love Song. Throat singing was done to pass time away when the men were off hunting and the women were left with the children. So it is a competition between the two women who's performing, but nowadays you can hear men perform or groups. Like we will finish a throat song in a group. And usually the sounds of a throat song, like I will make one sound and I'm a leader, Tabitha will follow with the same sound but at a different time. That makes it complete. And you're trying to mix the person up so that they can lose the game. So we're going to do the love song. And the sounds for that is oh, you don't want to touch.
Yeah. Well, usually we would be holding each other and then we'll have a swaying motion just as to keeping the rhythm. And when we get faster, our movements will get faster too, but because of COVID, we're restraining that.
Keeping our distance.
Yes, because there is a lot of using your throat, and so it's like, you know.
I forgot to mention the sounds usually are of nature. There's nothing, it was only of nature. So this sound is just called the love song because I guess it sounds like a heartbeat, is it? Yeah. So, okay. Okay, I had to let that one go. Good job. The next song is
IEU, which are the three vowels of the Inuktitut language, and the songs are I, U, So when you're throat singing, your mouth can get really dry because you're pushing a lot of that air out and taking air in too, so you don't, faint from not breathing. And so we need water while we're performing or even practicing at home.
It's really hard for me not to clap. I'm trying not to clap when they're done because I'm used to clapping.
The next throat song that we will do for you is called Again. With throat singing, we do have some structured songs and some songs that are not structured. The two that Tabitha and Sherry just completed are non-structured throat songs. This next one, The Game, is a structured throat song.
Yeah, so there is a pattern and it goes, there's just two sounds to that one, but it goes up and down in the sounds. Up, the, up, 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 up,
Broke the structure on that one.
No, that's fine. Like you can go up and down wherever and stay as long as on each sound as you want, which is why it's the game, to throw me off too.
Yes,
Yeah. So
but I threw myself off it, which don't happen very often. The next song, I believe, is the one Sherry and I are doing, called Hama.
no, it's actually a singing song. I am happy, which is called Humia Solipala in Inuktitut. Come closer.
Amatilla Suli Sinila Revel Ula Suli Tauva Ya 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 Ay Ya 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 Aliata Lupunga Inyunya Lerama Ula Sulita ya 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 ay ya 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 Aliana took a book in Yunya Lerama Ula Sulita ya 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 ay ya 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 Aku tuyu banguti burulu sulita uba. Iya ya 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 ya. Iya ya ya ya. Iya ya ya ya. All the songs that we're performing today and the throat songs are usually done during different types of gatherings. So it could be performed at a wedding, it could be performed at a funeral, or it could be a celebration of having a really good hunt, or just to celebrate life in general.
Birth of a
Birth of a child.
Or,
Any celebration, really, yeah.
yeah, or the passing of a elder or person. So the next throat song is the mosquito, and that one is not like all the other throat songs. This one, Brenda will be doing one sound, and I'm going to be doing a totally different sound. And growing up in Lavender, there are a lot of mosquitoes.
Black flies.
Yeah, so if you can hear the mosquito, that's great. If you can't, then you're lucky you didn't hear the mosquitoes.
The best way to actually listen to some throat signs, it would be with you closing your eyes, and you can actually hear what we hear like in nature. So it's always good to close your eyes, and then you can actually hear the throat sign much more better than with your eyes open.
Right. It gotta be form for
Yes. A lot of the throat songs, there's so many different ones, and I apologize. There's certain ones has certain patterns, and this is one of those ones that has to follow a certain pattern in order for it to sound.
sound right, yeah.
Yes.
And all these songs that we're doing is from memory too, so forgive us if we make mistakes.
And the sounds.
Well, you do yours.
And then Tabitha will be making a completely different sound.
So this one is the only one where we're not making the same sound.
It's very rare that you actually have throat songs that are structured that way. Because a lot of the time it's a leader and a follower. And this isn't one of those times. One good way, when we started throat singing, in order to train your throat, in order to make all the different sounds, for us, when we first started learning, was they asked us if we knew how to make the growling sound, like that really deep guttural sound in the back of your throat. And the more you practice doing that, the more you condition your throat, and the easier the throat sounds come. A lot of the time when we were first starting, our throats would get really sore, that it would actually feel like we've gotten a sore throat because of all the stress that we were putting on our vocal cords while making the sounds. But it's a lot of fun, and it's a great way to bring back our culture. This is something that growing up that wasn't popular in our home community of Rigolet. And it's only since we moved to the city and took part in a local Inuit drum group that we were able to learn the drumming of the kalout as well as throat singing.
And learning how to make the drum as well.
Yes, and we actually learned how to make the drum outside of our home community. It's only recently that the younger generations home are starting to pick up on those traditions and bring it forward once again. and are incorporating it into many of the celebrations that we do have back home. So, which is wonderful to see.
We also found out that the Rigolet dialect for our Inuit language we found out it's actually the oldest dialect in Labrador. So, and our community, Alan Adams, as a person who's actually trying to bring that back. So there's a few people, and Paul Darcy, there's a few people actually trying to bring back our language because of actually what happened to the residential schools without people. So we're very proud.
Another thing about our Inuktitut language is when you're from each different community, you have your own dialect. So a person in Rigolet could try and have a conversation to someone, say in Maine, but the enunciation and the words that are being used could be so different that they wouldn't be able to carry on like a general conversation like I am here today.
But they will have a general idea.
They would get a general idea of what's being said, but they wouldn't completely comprehend what's being said completely.
With all that being said, of course, with throat singing, the girls are still learning, and we're always taught different techniques from different people. So we like to learn from other Inuit people as well.
Yes, we're very fortunate that we do have some mentors that we can turn to, and thankful that they are able to help us in learning new songs, because there's always something new that we can learn in throat singing, in the songs and in the sounds. And it's always fun to meet other performers or even other artists who are trying to keep the tradition alive. Yeah. So thank you for inviting us here and allowing us to do that with you, show you and share with you. It's always an honor to perform and
Share our culture.
sharing our culture. Thank you.
I know. This is what sisters do.
So the next song we're going to do is called The River. There's 4 sounds for that one. That one that don't have a pattern, so Brenda can make any sound she wants at any time from those 4 sounds. So what my job is to watch her, and one trick I know is watching her mouth, because that's where I know she's going to do a different sound.
And again, that's actually a song you can close your eyes to and listen to and actually hear the river.
Okay, I got it wrong. My mouth got so dry.
And usually the first one who laughs is the one who loses. That's how you know who won the competition.
Brenda's really competitive. She always wants to win. And so I try to,
You're just as competitive.
yeah, I can only because she's like that. Well, I mean, it's mostly for me, it's for the fun, but obviously with Brenda, it's for the competition part,
But for me, I like to extend the throat song for as long as that my vocal cords can carry me. And sometimes I tend to go for quite a while.
Yeah, me, I wanted to go more, but I've got to try.
Well, the benefit of us being together, I guess, too, is that all of us know each other. We're sisters, so we know what the other one is going to do.
This next throat song that I mentioned earlier is called Hama. This is my favorite throat song. I don't know if many of you watched the movie The Fast Runner. If there is a scene where he's actually running across the ice and this is the throat song playing in the background. And the sounds are, I'm not as good as Tebby, so you would expect me to be run faster than she is.
I'm Tabby, my nickname is
Tabby,
Tabby.
I'm sorry, Tabby.
Those
That was good. That was really good.
Whenever I do that throat song, I can always see the movie playing in my mind and he's running across the ice. And when you hear me speeding up, it's like I see him running all out and then he gets tired and he slows down again. Sort of my favorite to do because it always reminds me of that wonderful movie.
We've started writing our own music, and the music that we've been writing is in English. So I don't know if Sherry would feel comfortable to share with you today her song.
I'll try. I get a bit nervous when I gotta sing by myself.
You have us.
The song I wrote is about our hometown, Rigolet, and it's called Breathtaking Views. Have you ever been to Rigolet, a beautiful little town along the north coast shore of Labrador, where the people's sweet and kind? With the scenery of breathtaking views in this small little town. Breathtaking views is a place you need to see. Breathtaking views, with the stars shining so bright. Breathtaking views, with the moonlight in the night sky. While whistling at the northern lights and watching them dance in the sky. Watching them dance in the sky. Breathtaking views, it's a place you need to see. Breathtaking views, it's definitely a place you need to be. Definitely a place you need to be.
Sherry, good job.
No,
You did a good job. Okay, me and Sherry will now do a new song that we learned. It's called Tuk Tuk Strut, and Tuk Tuk is caribou. And this is a song that we learned from Tiffany Ayala. She's in a performing group, and she actually made this song with her sister. So we asked her permission if we can perform it, and she gave it to us. So we are happy to perform it today. Can you say it with me? Okay, the sound. Try go slow first, okay? Sherry likes to go fast too. So that's the sound, what they were thinking when they made that song is the sound of caribou when it's running in a herd across the ice. The last song is actually called The Saw. Sherry and Brenda are going to do that one for you. The last throat song. Oh, yes, okay. Well, they'll do the Saw, and then I think we have another singing song, which is a Nanaga. I have my routine on my phone, that's why I keep going to my phone. Yes, so it's the Saw, and then we'll sing a Nanaga, and we'll finish with the group love song.
This throat song is one that's very taxing on your vocal cords due to the sounds that we make. And the sounds, so you're using,
That's a good one to close your eyes to.
Yeah,
If
so it's
you-
like the sound of a saw cutting through wood.
When you actually close your eyes, you can hear the saw cutting through. That's another one.
a lot of the throat songs, this is one of the more advanced ones. It actually uses your nose, your voice and your throat in combination altogether. And with the throat songs, for example, if you're don't know how to breathe properly, you can become very lightheaded. And a good example of a throat song for that would be Hababa Hibibi, which is unfortunately one we're not going to be doing today. But it's super fast and it goes like this. And you need to be able to breathe comfortably between making those sounds so you won't get lightheaded during the throat song. But the
Pass out. You can pass out from throat singing. If you don't know what you're doing.
and
This throat song that we're gonna do is from, we actually throat sang it for Hey Rosetta. And it's in the song called Parsons Brown.
Tabitha and Sherry spent the day with them
They were
recording.
sighing all day.
And our throats are really tired.
Sorry, but my teeth hit my lips and it made a funny noise.
This is probably my first Malone against Brenda.
Would you like to try it? With the throat song that like what Sherry and I just done, you can make it when it's on structures, you can make it sound so you can speed up and slow down at any point. And when you do that, you can actually see a clearer picture of the images running through your mind. I know for myself, growing up on the coast of Labrador, I'm not sure if anybody else, but you might remember the old Bucksas and you'd be sawing the wood. You can actually see someone like going out at first and then getting tired and just slowing down and getting an extra burst of energy going again. But yeah, it's a lot of fun and we're sharing those sounds with you guys.
We're gonna do Ananaga, which is written by Susan Gluckart, and we actually got to speak with her. Well, I did, and I asked her permission for us if we could sing her song, and she agreed. So
It's a beautiful song that she wrote about her mother, but we like to sing it to honor ours as well.
okay.
Istulukangama, ikama nikapala tuni, ulapsiri vaktani, ikama baka, Sili Rangama Atsanir Tuksiya Bunga Ananaga Niyanyarigu Nagligin Marikaku Ugagin Malislugu Ananaga Mitsui Rangama Igaluli Rangama Sukupatu to Savali Para Ilubiru Mia Lis Luna Taku Mami Rangaku Ananaga Atamir Tuksiya Bunga Ananaga Miyanyarigu Nagligin Marikaku Gagagin Malislugu Ananaga Ananaga.
Okay, we're going to finish off with the group throat song. And we're doing the same version that me and Tabitha did earlier, the love song. But Sherry and Tabitha are going to add in the advanced version while me and Brenda continues in the plain version. So I don't know if you want to do the sounds for the advanced.
Oh, for the advanced version, we're just throwing in the lower parts, like with the throat, like, as opposed to,
So, yeah. Because you're going against Tabitha.
Pardon our back,
Me and
that
you.
we
I'm following you.
get in a circle
these
here.
are reading and being run no problem.
Yeah. Or should
Okay.
we split?
No, this is good. Me and Joel's and then you cut in.
Okay.
No, because then you share, that's why I have space jokes.
Okay.
Sherry's reading her voice so much in that one, so it just threw me off. I had to laugh, it sounded funny.
Okay. Not very often that happens, right?
You can only imagine what Christmases and holidays are like.
We have a lot of fun at Christmas. We
Yeah,
always
we
sing
do.
carols. I don't know if you wanted to ask us any questions maybe, or,
What was it like working with the guys that was up? I knew I'd heard that. As soon as you guys started, I knew that I'd heard that before. And I was always curious about what that was in that Carson Brown song. I never knew what it was.
oh,
Now,
okay,
now
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it was actually the saw, but it's going a lot faster in the song than as opposed to what they did here today. So when we were doing that, that was like for 3 hours, I believe.
Yeah, we was 3 hours. We sang a bunch of different ones. And it took us 1 hour for him to actually want to pick which one he wanted. And it was at last of it for that 1 hour, we throat sang the song. By the time we were finished and ready to go home, we were so
Tired of the song.
It took us about a year to 2 years before we actually throat sang that.
Yeah,
Sang
again, yeah. Yeah, we went to Tim Baker. He actually picked us up at her home, and we went to his house I think it was in the basement where he had all
the studio.
the studio equipment, and then we, like she said, did a couple of songs, and he liked that one, and it was very tiring in the end.
But he was a really nice person to
Yeah.
host.
He was very picky in how he wanted it to sound too. I think that's why it took longer. Yeah.
But it was good. He done a good job, I believe, because we got to listen to the song. He was really kind. He actually brought us the CDs at my house and dropped it off for us so that we can actually have a copy of it.
Now, we do have a CD. I don't know if it's out yet.
There is another one that we have done, and that's actually on Munn, from Munn University. It's called Traditional and Transitions. Transitional. And it's on Facebook, so.
It was through a program called Inuk in the City, and we were interviewed by Jeff Vanden Scott. He's the one who was taking care of that program, and then he gave us the opportunity to do some recordings in the studio. So we were happy to take part in that. But since COVID, we have since seen the CD.
Yes, that's why I don't know if it's out yet or what.
Yeah, I
It
don't think
is,
so.
it is on the website on Facebook, and you are welcome to listen to it.
Now, some of those songs that our father had written, and we sang some of his songs he'd written, which is in the Labrador Songbook too as well.
And we actually written our own song, like,
Yes. Is there any other?
I wanted to come back for a second.
Okay.
And,
Oh, do you want to do it?
Let's just move that side.
Okay.
You stand on this side.
Oh,
So I do want to say thank you. That was just
Thank
wonderful.
you in our language.
Okay,
That's
please
okay.
do. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, get out of the way, yeah.
Bow.
Okay.
Nakumik.
That's our.
Nakwamik. And Nakwamik. So thank you. It was very enjoyable, educational. I think for me, I really liked the song. I could close my eyes. I also appreciated being told to close my eyes at 1 o'clock in the day. It was great. But I could hear the saw and the mosquito as well. So thank you. I know I say on behalf of the entire firm, thank you very much for coming today and for sharing your talents with us and for giving us this wonderful opportunity. I will definitely look you guys up on Facebook and look out for your CD as well. Take care. Thank you.